Hey guys, this is Sailite here, playing Guild Wars 2 in the third Beta Weekend event. A couple big changes this time around for the Thief. Most of them aren't very good for the Thief though. First and foremost, we have Haste. Still grants you quickness for 4 seconds. The drawback to it now is you lose all endurance and you cannot gain endurance for 4 seconds. Basically, for 4 seconds you can't dodge. If you've ever played the Thief before, you know that mobility is everything. 4 seconds of not being able to dodge will probably get you killed. I will never be using haste because of that reason, if I ever decide to play the Thief. A couple other big changes that they've made. Tripwire knocks enemies down for 3 seconds and also cripples them for 5 seconds. Seems a little redundant to me, honestly, because they're knocked down for pretty much half the duration anyway. The other big change they made is Signet of Shadows grants a passive 25% increase to movement speed rather than the old 15 and 10%. It's a pretty big boost. It's almost the same as if you were maintaining swiftness. It's a pretty good buff right there. Another downside, another trait that they've added, I wouldn't really call it a nerf, but our Deadly Arts 7 is now Improvisation. Stealing recharges one of your categories of skills. It can only recharge one of the 5, which means Venoms, Signets, Traps, Tricks, or Deceptions. Basically, you can see down here that I had a bunch of tricks on my utility bar. I was actually testing this out just recently, and what it does, you have a 1 in 5 chance of restoring all of your skills under one category. Doesn't matter what the cooldown on them is. If I had just used haste and I steal and I happen to restore all my trick skills, it'd be right back up again. The problem is it's another random factor just like steal, which in structured PvP or tournament PvP, random is by nature unreliable. There's no telling what you'll get, and most people don't run with 3 tricks or 2 venoms and a trick or what have you. Basically, it's a hit or miss. You're either going to get something back good that you need, or you're not going to get anything. Another change that they've made is Critical Haste, which you can see here. It's 10% chance to get quickness for 2 seconds on Critical Strike, with a 30-second cooldown. For critical builds, this is obviously really good because you don't get the endurance stopping regeneration. You get to still dodge and do whatever you want, without the side effects of not being able to do anything. Another thing they changed was Hard to Catch. Instead of giving quickness for being stunned or knocked down or disabled, instead, you get swiftness for 12 seconds. That seems kind of redundant because swiftness isn't really going to help you whenever you're knocked down or feared.
6 feet tall.
And again, it has a 60-second cooldown. Doesn't really seem worth it to me. And then we have Bountiful Theft. Before, it would grant protection and something else. I forgot what it was, but the protection was the big thing about it. Now, if you steal with Bountiful Theft, it grants you and all nearby allies Vigor for 15 seconds. Vigor basically increases your endurance regeneration by 100%. Pretty good. Also, it removes 2 boons from your target and grants them to all nearby allies. Against, like Guardians and the like, that's actually pretty useful. Personal opinion, I would have preferred the protection skill over that, but I can see why they added this. A couple things that they still have not changed is Shadow's Embrace. Remove 1 condition every 3 seconds while in stealth. The max stealth you can have is 5 seconds at any given time that I know of. So you're only going to remove 1 condition every pretty much 3 seconds, which isn't really that useful whenever you have condition builds that can stack on multiple conditions over a short period of time. Thieves really don't handle condition builds well. That's honestly about it for thief changes, all the big ones. They increased the cast time for Basilisk Venom from 1 second to 2 seconds. Not the stone duration, but how long it takes you to activate it. Which, again, I don't really use Basilisk Venom anyway, because I feel that it's more of a underpowered utility rather than an elite skill. Again, that's just my personal opinion, you know. I don't really agree with all the changes they've made to the Thief recently. I feel like they're heading in a direction that is kind of counterproductive to the Thief overall. Adding a bunch of random factors and nerfing skills that didn't really need to be nerfed. As of right now, I probably will not be playing a Thief at launch if they remain in this state. Right now I'm leaning heavily towards the Ranger, and I will probably be making more videos focusing on the other professions instead of the Thief. That's pretty much all I have for you today. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you all next time.
This'll be unpleasant.